Today we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics as a photographer, and that is portfolios. It's 2025. Instagram is not what you should be using as your portfolio. I know that it has a place. I love Instagram. I'm on it all the time. But if you don't have your own portfolio site up and running, this is the year that you need to be doing that. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a full behind the scenes tour of my portfolio setup because I have just completely changed the whole thing. So up until now, I have always hosted my portfolio on WordPress, but this year I have switched over completely to Pixpa, who are kindly sponsoring today's video, and I'm going to be showing you a full behind the scenes tour of my whole setup, how easy this system is to use. So let's dive right in. First off, why did I switch? I've had my portfolio on WordPress for nearly 10 years. While I liked it, it was good. It was just getting to the point where everything that I needed was in a different place. I had one place for hosting my images, one place for sending them to clients, one place for SEO stuff. It was just getting a lot to manage. But when I found Pixpa, it really was the perfect all-in-one solution that I needed as a photographer, and I have absolutely no regrets from switching over. So Pixpa is the leading no-code platform for photographers where you can showcase, sell, proof, and store all your images as a photographer. And I am not lying to you when I say that this website took me one day to set up. Every single page, every single gallery, one day. Let's jump right in and have a look. So the first thing that you're going to see on your dashboard when you sign up for Pixpa and you create your website is this screen where you have an overview of everything. The four main options that you have are your website, which is going to be your landing page, your portfolio itself. You have the option to add a store if you are wanting to sell products or images. Then you have your client gallery section, and this for me has been an absolute game changer. And then there are your marketing tools. So let's jump first into the design section. This is probably what you're going to want to do first when you set up your portfolio site. So here, the first thing that you can do is choose your website template. So let me just show you very quickly here. My current template, I'm using the Glow template, but you can see here how easy it is. If you change your mind, you can just change your template. And we have so many different template options. So depending on whether you are more of a product photographer, a portrait, a wedding photographer, whether you sell print products, have a blog, there are so many different template options. You are definitely going to find one that suits what you need. So I've chosen the Glow template for my portfolio because I wanted something that was quite simple. It was easy to navigate. I don't have a blog on my portfolio site, so right now I'm not needing that, but I just wanted a place where you could see all of my images in one place, and then I could add different sub pages for clients to easily find what they're looking for. So once you've chosen your template, we can really easily just go through all of these options and set up your custom branding. So I won't take you through every single one because you'll get the idea, but basically we just click into each section. You can upload a logo, you can change the size, you can have a favicon, you can choose where your site title and logo go to, and this is all literally just click, done. That took me about 5 minutes. Then if you have specific brand colors, you can put these in here. There are also a lot of preset options. So if you don't have a brand yet and you just want to have something that's out of the box ready to go, you can just pick one of these and you're done. And then if you want to get really specific, you can also go into your advanced edit. So you can also edit these colors here, but you can go and literally change the color for each individual element. So if you have very specific colors for things like menu text or a heading or buttons, you can go in and change all of those things individually to make sure that your portfolio site looks exactly how you want it to. And then it's basically the same thing for fonts. There are also these preset sets. So if you don't have your own brand yet, you can just go, all of these have been laid out as fonts that go well together. They're all very legible. They're very web friendly. So you can just pick one of those, or you can set your own fonts as well. So the last thing in the design menu that I just want to highlight is the galleries function. So when you set up a gallery, you can change individual settings just for that gallery, but I like to have everything looking quite consistent. So here you have the ability to choose what you want your standard gallery layout to be. So this is like if you upload a lot of images, how they're going to display on the page. You can go from anything from a big single image through to small dynamic vertical images, images with spacing, descriptions, even fixed grid layouts, block patterns, really any kind of layout you want. So I've chosen the dynamic vertical medium because I really like the balance here of how my images have a bit of spacing between them, but it keeps everything the same width, and I can have my landscape and my portrait images together in the same gallery without any weird gaps. And this is also where you can set your grid spacing, if you want curved edges or anything like that, any hover effects, all of that stuff. It's so easy to configure. Okay, so next up, I want to show you my next favorite feature, and that is this marketing and SEO section. So when you come in here, this is where you can set all of your SEO for your website, and then you also have the option to do a few marketing related things. If you want to have some pop-ups, an announcement bar, you want to integrate your email newsletter system, anything like that. But in the SEO manager, what I love is just everything is in one place. And this was one of the things that was getting really difficult for me to manage on WordPress, was that I had to go into each page individually, do all the stuff, add all the SEO, make sure that everything was optimized. Whereas here we have this one place. So under the SEO manager, you have your site title, your description, your title format. It's going to highlight here any issues with your SEO that you should be looking at. So for example, if you've got images that are too big or something like that, it's going to tell you here so you can go and address that. And then on this second tab, and this is where it's really magical, it shows you everything for all of the individual pages on your website where you're missing SEO information. So you don't have to go clicking into every single page to find this. It's just putting everything in a list so I can see on all of these pages where I have missing information, and I can just fill it in directly here, save it, and it's done. Next up, I want to show you the client galleries. So this is another thing that I couldn't even use WordPress for. I had a whole separate tool where I would upload images to send to clients that they could then proof and approve and download. And it was just a whole thing. And it was like, why do I have this in two separate systems? But with Pixpa, it is now all in one place. So I can upload things to my portfolio, share it securely with clients, and they can look at images. So let's have a quick look at the client gallery. So it is so easy to just set up a gallery. I've just set up an example one here so you can see how it works. So you can set it up, and then when you click into it, when you're on the first tab, you can just add a gallery and then upload all your images here. You can come in and customize all of the information. You can add descriptions for your images, titles, keywords, alt tags, all that kind of good stuff. And then under settings, this is where we can set the privacy. So we can do custom design settings just for these galleries. So if, for example, this was a really highly branded project, you might want to change the colors of the gallery to reflect the branding of your client. So that's an option. And then under privacy, this is where we're able to set a password so that when we send this to the client, we can also send the password and only they can access it. So this will not be publicly visible, which is really important when you're sharing things with clients. We also have the option to have things like the ability for clients to favorite images, to add comments, to download images. So once they've approved them, do we want them to just be able to download them directly? We can add an extra pin for that, for an extra layer of security if you want. You can set whether you want them to be able to download the whole gallery, just their favorites, etc. You can set the sizes that you want them to be able to download. It's just so customizable and user-friendly. It has literally changed my workflow for the better. And then some extra features available that I'm not using right now, you have the ability to use, is to add a store area. So if you want to sell your photos, if you want to sell other digital products, anything like that, you can set that up directly within your Pixpa website and get that going. So again, you don't need another place to do that. Also, you can have a blog. So this is something that I am thinking about adding to my site, but at the moment I haven't quite got round to it yet. But I think I would love to add a page where I can add a bit of a summary of previous client projects that I've done, share a bit more detail about the project, and just give clients another opportunity to see a little bit more in depth what I do. So if you can't tell already, I completely love my new portfolio site. It is so much easier to maintain, which means that I'm motivated to do it more often. If you're in Food Photography Academy, then you know how much I put an importance on a good portfolio. And in the Business Roadmap program, that's where we talk all about what to include in your portfolio, how often to update it, how to update your SEO, all that good stuff. And Pixpa just makes putting that into practice so much easier. So as part of this video, Pixpa are offering my viewers 55% off an annual plan, which is just an insane deal considering it is already so much more affordable than the other main competitors on the market right now. If you click the link in my description, you can get an additional 55% off an annual plan, and I really highly suggest that you go do that. If you want to check out my portfolio and see where it's at right now, then I've also included the link for that down below. I am so happy that I made the switch this year. I can't wait to keep adding new work to it and just seeing how it's going to evolve over the next year. Thank you so much to Pixpa for sponsoring today's video. I hope you found this useful. If you try it out and you create your own website, please drop a link down below because I would love to see what you create, and I'm sure everyone else would as well. And I'll see you in the next video.